Okay, first of all, I'm Jane Mark from So Cool Inc. and On Your List, and I would like to welcome all of you to our webinar. This one I think you're going to find interesting. We're going to do a little bit of everything, but mostly what I want to concentrate on today is how you can take a little bit off of your own shoulders and automate your marketing. So the first way we're going to start before I put up the follow along link is I'm going to ask you a question. And this one, guys, you got a 50% chance of being right because it's a true or false answer. So here's the question. Type your answer, just type true or false in the chat box and we'll see what we get. Okay. Here's the question. Almost everything you do for your online business can be automated. Is that true or false? Almost everything you do for your online business can be automated. Type T for true or F for false, and let's see what we get here. True or false? Almost everything you do for your online business can be automated. What am I getting, Phil? More truths than false? More false than truths? What? All true. Everybody. Oh, one false, all true. Well, now I influence the thinking here. Okay, so, we got a lot of answers. I'm just going to say that 90% of you got this wrong. The answer is the question was almost everything you do for your online business can be automated. No. I'm sorry to tell you this. I know I'm going to burst a lot of bubbles here, and you're all going to go away and say, oh, well, why am I here? No, that you cannot automate all of your marketing. You simply can't. Can you automate a lot of it? Yes, you can. And that's what we're going to go over today. But there are some things that you either have to do yourself or don't lose heart. Doesn't mean you have to do everything yourself. There are a lot of places you can farm your work out to. But can you automate it? No, not everything can be automated. So, geez, you guys surprised me. I thought for sure you're going to say false. Wait, Phil's stopping me. Okay, what? I did say almost, but okay, so we're going to have a statistical fight about what almost means. It's true, I said almost. But if I had to give you an honest appraisal of how much I think could be automated, I would say less than 50%. Truly automated, like the things I'm going to show you, some things we're going to go over today. But, okay, I may be wrong. Maybe it is true. And maybe some of you actually know ways to truly automate your whole business. If you do, I want to hear about them. But there are some things you have to do yourself, or you can delegate it. I'm not saying that you have to do things personally yourself, but there's a lot of stuff that requires some change and thought and copywriting and even emailing. Somebody's got to do it, and you can't necessarily automate it all. So while we're doing this, let's put up the follow along link. Let me just pop it up here. Okay, so basically what we're going to do today is I'm going to go over 3 ways that can help you automate your business and at least take some of the routine stuff off your back and get you some of the traffic you need and some of the leads you need. So we're going to go over 3 things. But even if you think you know these sites, you don't. So bear with me here while we go over some of these sites. First thing we're going to do is go over Cool Ping because that is fully 100% automated. You put a URL in, that's it, you leave it. The second thing we're going to, but there's much more than that about what we want to do with CoolPing. The second thing we want to do is we're going to go over So Cool Submit, because that is almost completely automated. You do have to post to it, but it's very hard to get your email. Your post in front of 100,000, and So Cool Submit lets you do that. And the third thing, and probably the most important thing, is, I don't know if some of you saw my email today, but it's so cool. We have given away or sold, and this may not mean very much to you yet, but it is by the end of this webinar. We have given away or sold close to 50 billion. That's billion with a B, tokens at So Cool. There is a reason for that, and we are going to get to that in just a little while. So let's start with the automation part, and then we'll get to what I think you really can't automate. Let's first just log into CoolPing. Now, what is CoolPing? It is really a very simple concept. The way that all of the search engines pick up the fact that there's a new site, a new content, a new article on the net is done by what we call pinging. And without going into the technical aspect of what happens when your website gets pinged, basically it tells the search engines that there is a new content on the net. Now that could be a new link, a new site, it could be an article, it could be a press release. It just sort of gives, it's like a little nudge that you get, that somebody gives you with their elbow that says, hello, I'm here, pay attention. So this is a very simple site and a very simple concept. And it's also very inexpensive. So let's log into CoolPing. And I'm going to show you first how easy it is to use it, but there's some other element of it that is even more important than how easy it is. Okay, so I'm going to log into my account. Now, if you notice, I have a big account at CoolPing. I can put in my own account up to 500 URLs. I've so far filled 124 of those slots because almost every day I put some sort of URL into CoolPing. And what happens to it once I put it in? It gets, you'll see that I have a ton of links or titles which go to links, and you'll see that it says this one's been pinged 3 times, this one's been pinged 7 times, this one 9. Here's what happens. I stick a URL in, and CoolPing automatically pings that URL with a subject line that I put in, and it does it every 3 days. So that if I come back 3 days from now, these links that say that they've been pinged a total of 3 times each will then change to have been pinged 4 times each. Every 3 days, depending on when I put my link in, we ping the weblogs for you, which gives the search engines a little notice. Hello, I'm here. Could you please take note of me? Okay, so that's what it does. It's very simple. Now, what kind of link do you want to put in here? It's the only thing you have to know about CoolPing. Forget all the, it's got a lot of fancy things in all over the place. You don't forget about it. You need to know one thing about CoolPing. You log in and you go to add new URLs. So any URL that you want to add is going to, you go there and it brings up a very simple form. Now, before I put anything in here, let me tell you what you need to plan out before you go to add URL. Two things. You need to know what title you're going to put in. Okay, so, and that's important because you want something that relates to the site that you're promoting. You need your website URL. And here's where I want you to start to think about using only your on your list URLs. Because, for example, I'm going to actually promote CoolPing through CoolPing, and I created a URL that's all about CoolPing. I am not going to just put in here coolping.com because, and especially those of you who are affiliates of CoolPing, you may have an affiliate link, and the search engines hate affiliate links. So, for example, Florence, if you're promoting Vima, don't put in vima.com and your username. Take your on your list affiliate, not affiliate page, capture page, and put it in here. So I'm going to just type in a subject line here. Ping your way to profits. And instead of putting in coolping.com with any affiliate URL, I'm going to put in, I created this earlier, I'm going to put in my on your list capture page, which happens to say in it, ping your way to profits. Forget about the RSS feed. If your site has an RSS URL, you can put it in here. I never even bother, even though some of our sites have. But most of you will not know if your site has an RSS or where to find it. Forget it. It's not important. Now, then you can actually target your URL. So in my case, CoolPing is really, I'm either going to choose advertising or marketing. But as you can see, there's a lot of things, health and financial and clothing. We have a lot of categories, social media, that you can target your link to. So in this case, I think I'm going to choose marketing. You can choose between a blog or a website. Forget about all these other things. They're meaningless. Choose either blog if you're promoting your blog or website. I'm promoting a website. I hit save URL. I never have to come back to CoolPing ever again for that particular link. I just set it and forget it. This is perhaps the most automated marketing that you can do online. I mean, you can go back and edit it. We have a place where you can view and edit your URLs. And the only time you would really edit a URL is maybe if your site goes out of business or goes down, because you can put in as many, for example, suppose my main event in life was advertising CoolPing. I could put in all sorts of variations to promote CoolPing. I just go over to On Your List. Phil, some people may not know what On Your List is, so just give them onyourlist.com. I can go over to On Your List and create 5 or 6 or 10 different capture pages with different text or video on them. And I can come right back here and put 10 of URLs in, just like you saw me do. It would take about a minute total. It's really easy to do. And I could be promoting CoolPing from all different aspects, from the aspect of how easy it is, or the aspect of pinging and automation. So there are many ways I could set up different capture pages, put them all into CoolPing. Now, why am I telling you to do that? Because each link that you make it on your list is completely unique. You cannot make, in other words, let's put up my link here. My link that says ping your way to profits on your list. Nobody else can go and make an exact same duplicate of that link. Because if you try to use my words on your list without changing them in some way, you're going to get a little message that says ping your way to profits is already in use. So every single on your list link that is created to make your capture page is completely unique. There is no other link like it on the net because you must put a title in that link. And so you can put as many links as you like. Now, what is the cost of Cool Ping? All of you, if you are serious about your business, should be doing this and keeping it. You get 25 URLs for $7.25 a month. Even if you only want to use one of them, one of those spots, you have 24 gold mines. And I want you to think about this very carefully. What is it that all the experts tell you to do when you're trying to build a list or get leads or make a sale? It's to make that sale really enticing. So suppose you could say, I keep picking on Florence, but I'm going to use Florence as an example. Let's say you're advertising Vima and you've got 15, 20 leads under you, right, in your downline, but none of them have upgraded. I don't know if Vima has a free to join, but let's assume it does. None of them have upgraded. You're tearing your hair out. What can I do? I know I have a good program. These people are sitting on their tushes, right? And they're not upgrading, and it's driving me crazy. Why not do this? You now have an account. You may not get an account with 500, but you have to be a little bigger to do that, to use all of those. But at $7.25 a month, you have 24 spaces. Let's say you use one of your own. You have 24 spaces, which you can say to your downlines in any program, I will promote your site for you for free when you upgrade under me at Vima. In this sample, we're using Florence's site, Vima. Okay. This is very powerful. People like to know that you're going to help them in some way. If they join a program under you, you are going to try your best to steer them to ways to promote, because most people, and this certainly included me when I started on the net, do not know where they're at or where to start. So Florence, they upgrade under you in Vima. They come to you and say, okay, now what? You say to them, you upgrade today, and I'm going to take your URL, your affiliate Vima URL, and I am going to pop it into Cool Ping and promote it for you for the rest of your life. Or whatever you want to say. Maybe you give them 3 months. Maybe you give them a year. Whatever you feel comfortable with. But this is a very powerful tool, not only to use it yourself, to put as many links as you want to in here, but to offer to promote. And I do this often because the fact of the matter is that if you track your traffic at Cool Ping, you are not going to get huge amounts of hits. That is not what this site is designed for. But both Phil and I put our URLs in here, and we track some of them because we just want to see what's happening on our blog or whatever site we're promoting. And we get signups. Just sort of, they're not a lot. They don't come in every day. They may not even come in every month. But you leave it for a month and go back and see what's going on if you're tracking it in some way, which you can do, by the way, with your on your list capture page. You go back and see, and I bet you, assuming you have a decent capture page and a good site that you're promoting, you will be starting to get some signups. So you are offering one of your downlines, something of real value when you tell them, I'm going to take your URL for if you upgrade under me, and I'm going to put it into Cool Ping for you. No charge. I am going to help you get started. That gives people a level of comfort when they become part of your team. In fact, somebody the other day wrote to me. Many of you know I promote My Fun Life. I love that site. I just think it has a lot of class, and there's so many sites on the net that don't have a lot of class. So somebody joined my team free on My Fun Life the other day. I was promoting it, and they asked me a very fair question. Are you just going to leave me with the promotion tools that are in the back area of My Fun Life? Or are you going to help me get started? Many people ask that, and it is a very, very fair question. Now, in my case, I have a little bit of an edge up on most people. I run an advertising business, and I do webinars. So I did assure him, which is true, that I will be there to answer his questions. How do you get started? Where should I go? What should I do? And that we do training sessions, and I'm not sure if he's on this one today. I don't remember who I was talking to. When I invited them, I said, but come today and start to learn how you might do some promotion. So this is something that people overlook, the fact that people want help. And you are in a position to help them. You really are. I know many of you may feel you're just getting started on the net, but believe you know more probably than 99% of the people just coming on the net and beginning. Offer them something of value. Free advertising. Free advertising is always valuable. Always valuable. So that's this is totally, truly automatic. It is totally, truly the cheapest advertising that exists on the net, other than free, which is usually worthless. I mean, really free, where you put your text ad up for free. Guys, you're just wasting your time. People put up all these text ads all over and banner ads, and nobody sees them and nobody cares. This really does something. It actually pings your website every 3 days. So the first thing you should be using if you want to automate your promotions is Cool Ping. All right, so we talked enough about Cool Ping. I think you get the idea on that. Now, let's go over to the next one. The next one is sort of semi, because it's so easy. I'm sort of mixing absolutely automatic with absolutely easy. So Cool Submit is a really interesting site, but you need to use it in more than one way. So let's log in. Okay, what is So Cool Submit? So Cool Submit is really a posting site. In the first instance, it's a posting site. And where does it post to? Well, as many of you may know, over the past 3 years, we have built this site called So Cool, and it has a sister site called Yakimore. And between the two sites, they have a little bit more than 105,000 members between the two. So Cool having the most, because Yakimore sometimes duplicates So Cool, but Yakimore has, independent of So Cool, about, I would say, 15,000 members, unrelated to So Cool, so completely independent members. So the first thing that this submitter does is called the So Cool Submitter. If you are a member of So Cool, and Phil, for those people who may not know what So Cool is, can you just put the link up for So Cool in the chat box? When you join So Cool, and we're going to talk about So Cool in terms of auto building a list in a minute. When you join So Cool, which you can join free or paid is better. I can tell you right off the bat that paid is better. But if you join So Cool free, you are going to start to get trackers automatically. I'll show you how that works in a minute. Automatically, people are going to start following you before you finish your sign up on So Cool. When you post to them, and whether you're free or paid, you can post to all of your trackers at SoCool. But let's say you just came into SoCool and you came in at a free level. You are going to end up with 10. I'm talking about on autopilot. You can get a lot more, but when you first come in, you are going to end up with 10 people tracking you. That's not a lot of trackers, but don't forget, you didn't even get them yourself. They just got in there, which I'm going to show you how in a minute. So when you make a post at SoCool, you're posting to 10 trackers. The only way you are going to reach those 105,000 all at one time is through this nifty little thing which we call the SoCool submitter. How does it work? It is dead easy. You click on SoCool submitter. Now, in order to actually reach the whole 105,000, you need to log in using your SoCool details, not your SoCool submit details. Two different things. So it says log in using your SoCool account. So in my case, I'm going to log in with my username and my password at SoCool. I'm going to log in and it's going to say success, meaning it's going to open up a posting box for me. Now, this is a short post, 500 characters. So I already have a short one prepared. So let's put that in. And I'm going to show you. So any kind of short ad that you want to run up to 500 characters is great in SoCool Submit. Now, see how it says I have 57 characters left. So I know I'm okay. I'm under the 500 count. And this is all I do. I logged in. You can do this once a day, by the way. And I post this message. And that's it. That's going to be a message. Now, how do I know that it's at SoCool in Yakima? Let's log in and take a look. But it's not just going, remember, it's not just going to my trackers. I have a lot of trackers, like 18,000, but it's not going just to my trackers. It's going to everyone's trackers. So let's see. Let's look at Yakima first. So we'll log into Yakima. Okay, I have a lot of accounts, and I could log into any single one of my accounts. When we go to SoCool, I'll log into Cuddle's account for you, and you'll see what I mean. So this post, nobody has to be following me. It is going to, here's my post. How do you know that came from SoCool Submit? It's got this little SS down here, and it came from Melody 1. Okay? So it can, this is any account I log in, it's going to contain my username for SoCool Submit, which is really cool because if somebody clicks on that, they'll sign up and you'll get a commission. They'll sign up through your affiliate link for SoCool Submit, which is really cool. But this is how you know, and this is the post I just made. Notice that I used a on your list capture page. I can't tell you. I'm going to say this because maybe I say it too often, but I don't think I really can say it too often. I don't care what promotion you are doing where on the net. Use a capture page. Every time you use a capture page, you collect somebody's name and email. And then you have another shot at talking to them. If I just put on your list here, onyourlist.com, which I certainly could have done, that means that I don't know how many people came to the site, took a look and said, oh, not for me, or how many actually stayed there and read it, but for some reason they didn't sign up. I don't need to know that if I use a capture page. If my capture page is strong enough, then I'm going to get their name and email, and when we go into On Your List later, that name and email will be sitting there waiting for me to talk to them. And I can talk to them in a number of ways, which I'll show you when we get to On Your List. At any rate, without belaboring the point, this is also, let's log into Cuddles' account at So Cool. Cuddles, by the way, for those of you who don't know, is my dog, and he has, I don't know, about 6,000 trackers at So Cool, so he's not doing too bad. Let me see. Let's go to the So Cool login. He's got a Twitter account somewhere, too, and I think a Facebook account. So he's a very talented dog, that's all I have to say. So let's see if we can log into Cuddles' account. All right, here we go. Now, if you want to see your posting from So Cool Submit, you've got to go to the post message box. And where I purposely have this on a very big screen, and it takes forever in a webinar to get into the post message box, but it's worth waiting for because we're going to see the post that came from So Cool Submit. Now, So Cool Submit is not fully automated. Obviously, you need to log in and post a message, which you can do every day. But that's about as easy as you're going to get. So let's see. Let's go down. See, this is the post, and this came from So Cool Submit. So every single one of those 100,000 members, or 105, whatever it is now, of So Cool and Yakimore are going to see any post that I make from So Cool Submit. You will not find that anywhere on the net, by the way, because there aren't submitters usually that submit to 100,000 real people at a real site instantly and daily. Now, there's another part of So Cool Submit. So if you are just a monthly member of So Cool Submit, this is what you can do. You can post to if you're a basic monthly member, you can post to all of Yakimore and So Cool. There's let me see if I can get back to So Cool Submit so I can show you what else there is. There are other parts that really are completely automatic once you set them up. So let's log in again, because this is the one that's the easiest to understand. You know exactly where your post is going and how often, and you put something in, it goes instantly. But there are 3 other parts. So I'm going to encourage you, before you decide if you want to use the So Cool Submitter, you decide what membership you want, because there's a $29.95 membership which you have to get when you sign up. That gives you access only to the So Cool Submitter. But if you want to reach the others, there's a search engine submitter, which is fully automatic in the sense that you can submit a URL. You can only submit the same URL once a month. But every 30 days, you just submit whatever URL you want to submit, as long as, or you can do it every day as long as it's not the same URL. And this just gets promoted to the search engines. That's it's not quite Cool Ping, but it's pretty much. There's a classified submitter. That you have to actually enter your ads, but after that, it gets submitted. Is that regular, Phil? Because you know more about the classified. Once you put in your ad, which is very easy, I don't want to go through all of this because there's a training tape in So Cool Submit which shows you how to do this. But the point is that once you enter your ad, I'm checking with the expert here. Is that submitted regularly every 14 days? Oh, you have to, okay, so Phil says you have to resubmit it every 40 days. And then 14, sorry, not 40, 14. There's a directory submitter. Once you put a URL in a directory, it's just there. So once you do this once, and you can put as many as you want in, but once you do it once, you've got your URL in a directory. And this is completely free. Anybody joining So Cool can put up a free Cool link, which is one of our sites called Cool Search. So be careful the membership level. There's also a yearly and a lifetime. If you can swing it, go for the lifetime membership. That gets you everything. You never have to pay again. You can always use all 5 of these submitters. not Cool Submit Pro. That's a separate submitter that's mostly geared towards articles. But all of these 5 submitters you can use for life if you go for the lifetime membership. If you take the 47 a month, you can use all the submitters until you forget to upgrade your credit card. Guys, you got to be careful when you're in business also. Check your credit cards in your members area, and because when somebody upgrades in our sites, they get notices, but they don't pay any attention to it. Your credit card or your membership is so cool is about to expire. If it's a monthly one, make sure your credit card is up to date, in which they pay no attention. You should regularly go into the sites that you really care about and go and update your credit cards and make sure they're current, because otherwise you lose a lot of information, and it can be a really, because your account gets set back to free. So keep your credit cards current. That's another lecture on that. All right, so I'm going to call So Cool Submit semi-automatic. It is very easy to use, and you put your stuff in, whether it's the So Cool Submitter, it can go out daily, and it's very easy to use, and it automatically goes to all of those 100,000 people. Now, let's go to what I call the most important part, and that is actually, oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, I got to shoot you guys over here so I can see. All right, the most important thing that you can do is auto build a list. And that is really what's so cool, is absolutely brilliant on. So let's go back now, and let's go, and this really is automated, but you have to know how it really works for you. We're going to log in to my account at So Cool. Okay, now, if you go here, let's see. Oh, Frank Sousa is online. He's one of our star recruiters here. So if you want to go see what kind of lists you can build at So Cool, click on the So Cool stars. And it will take a little while we're in the webinar. Now, it's my site, so it's pretty likely that I'm going to have a lot of people on my list. Okay, so that's 18,000. Frank Sousa with Traffic Geyser, who used to be with Traffic Geyser and now is just Frank Sousa, has 16,000 people on a list, guys, on a list. That is a huge number. Most people, if they can build a list of 2,000 people or 1,000 people, they're delighted. Now, how did Frank and I build these huge lists at So Cool? I guarantee you it was not through just promoting the So Cool site. There is no way that Frank or I, or let's go to, wait, you put a picture of Cuddles in your site? Okay, so Dave Merrington built a list. I'm not going to count Cuddles at all because he sort of has help building his list. But Phil has a list of 6,000. Dave Merrington has a list of 6,500. And So Cool Helpers has 6,500. These are people who are actually building lists at So Cool. And Tom Haley's got 4,800. These are nice big lists, guys. And these people, because they are upgraded members, can not only post to that list every day, they can email that list every day. So if they didn't do it strictly by promoting, meaning they did a few emails about So Cool, or they posted on Facebook or Twitter on So Cool, they told their friends, believe me, you don't build lists of 6,500 people. At least most people don't build that kind of list without some help. And that's what we do at So Cool. We build your list for you. And it is completely automatic, provided you have enough what we call tokens in your account. What's a token? It's our word for credits or tokens or most people would think of it as a credit. If you have a lot of soak-ins at SoCool and you all start out with a lot of soak-ins at SoCool. For example, Vicky, who's a founding member, when she first started at SoCool, she got, I think it was 20 million soak-ins in her account. So she had a lot of soak-ins in her account, right? Somebody who comes in free starts out with 10,000 soak-ins. Somebody who comes in as a silver member starts out with 7.5 million soak-ins, and gold members start out with 10 million. But let's say eventually you're going to run out of those soak-ins, and I'm going to show you how you run out of those soak-ins. People claim them, and that's how you build your list. So where do you go to figure out how you get this working for you? Let's say I could sit here and I don't have to, as long as I have 78 million soak-ins and people keep claiming them and that number goes down, I don't really have to log into SoCool for probably another 2 weeks. In that 2 weeks, people are going to claim my soak-ins, and I can log in 2 weeks, and this purple box that tells me where my soak-ins are is going to be way down. Maybe it won't be down to 0, but it could be down to, say, 4 million soak-ins, which can go very fast. But in the meantime, it is adding. You saw that 18,000 people that are tracking me. 2 weeks from now, I will have a whole lot more people tracking me and people on my list, and it's being done automatically in the background, and I can email them every 3 days. So how do you get this system up and running for you? It's very easy. When you become a SoCool member, you log in and you go to money. And why did we put soak-ins under money? Because the money is in the list. I know you've heard that over and over again, but that is really true. So this is a place where not only can you see how much money you earned in your commissions at SoCool, which is very important, but it is where we automatically build a list for you. And what I want you to do is, free or paid, I want you, that's so cool, I want you to log in to your money area, click on soak-ins, and look up here and see how many soak-ins that you have. The next place I want you to look is, forget everything else for a minute, I want you to go to offer soak-ins. The more soak-ins you can offer, and you are in control of that. You're not in control when you first sign up. When you, and now I'm going to just talk free members for a minute. You sign up free to SoCool. You get 10,000 soak-ins in this box. We make an auto offer. That's how this works. We automatically make an offer for you of 500 soak-ins, which means that 10 people can claim your soak-ins, and you will have 10 people. Divide 500 into 10,000. Did I do the math right? I think so. You'll have 10 people following you automatically. Now, suppose you want to have more than 10 people. 20. Phil corrected my math. It's 20. Okay, so you'll have 20. If you never do anything else at SoCool, you'll have 20 people following you. And that's not a lot of people, but okay, it's a start. But suppose you want a lot of people to follow you. For example, Vicki, I haven't been in your account lately, but I bet you still have a huge number of soak-ins. You can make an offer. I call it a bribe. The higher you bribe people to follow you, the more trackers you're going to pick up, the quicker you're going to pick them up. So for example, I have a lot of soak-ins, but so do you, Vicki, to play with. So I'm offering a huge number of soak-ins. Anyone who follows me at SoCool is going to immediately pick up 600,000 soak-ins. And they're going to pick up those 600,000 right in their own purple box. And that means they can make an offer of at least 6,000 soak-ins. And you can change your offer. So I'm making a nice big offer. I'm in So Cool all the time. I'm always claiming tokens, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. But right now, I want to up my offer. Anyone who follows me, and I'll show you where you go to follow people, is now going to get, instead of 600,000, they're going to pick up 650,000 tokens in their own account. And by the way, Frank, you should check how many tokens. I bet, Frank Sousa, you have a lot of tokens in your account. Make a nice big fat offer here. The higher your offer, the faster you are going to get more people tracking you on your list. And you can email that list every 3 days. That's why it's so important. Now, where do you go? Let's say I keep offering this huge number, 650,000. This number of 78 million is going to go down. Eventually, it's going to reach zero. I don't want it to reach zero. Well, let me show you how easy it is to bring this total back up. I'm going to go to claim tokens, and I claim them every day, so I'm not going to have a lot of tokens to claim. But here are a number of free people who just signed up, and they don't even know it. But remember, I told you we make an auto offer. They are offering me 500 tokens to follow them, meaning I'm going to be on their list to post to, and their list to email if they're a silver member or higher. So I want you to watch this. Here's my number. It says 271 at the end. So I'm going to track leads galore. I'm just going to click track. And if you noticed, 500 tokens got added on to my tokens account. It's like a bank account. Do I want 500 more? Sure. I'm going to go click 007 Bond. Cool name. Like that username. And now, all of a sudden, I've got over 1,000. I'm not counting the 78 million there. But you can see that you can see how many tokens you can pick up fast. Because if you want to see who's offering tokens and how many they're offering, let's go back to offer tokens. If you scroll down here, you're going to see the top 25. Everybody's offering tokens because we auto offer if they're not doing it themselves. But here, if you just go into offer tokens and look at who's offering these and go pick them up in that claim tokens, you can pick between So Cool and Info Provider and JP Ads and Cuddles, between the top 5 people here, you can pick up 1.2 million. So that's 1 million, 2 million, roughly 3 million tokens, which will go into your account if you follow these 5 people or 6 people. So instantly you can put tokens in your account. Instantly. What do you do with them? Don't let them sit there. I have some members who I will not mention here who have really, I think they have something over 99 million. I think there's one person who has 1 billion tokens in their account, and they've left an offer there of like 1,000. I mean, I hate to tell you this, guys. This is automatic list building. You cannot take these tokens into a bank and trade them in for dollars. So you want to build, they're there so that you can build a list automatically. So what you want to do is not hoard your tokens. You do not have to hoard them for a rainy day. Give them away. Make a nice big fat offer. First go into claim tokens. Fill up your So Cool tokens account. You know, at least put a couple million, a few million in there, and then turn around. If you have, I usually like to think of it as roughly 10%. So let's say you have 5 million. I would offer 50,000 tokens. I forget my math, guys, because I'm always off. But if it were me and I had 5 million tokens, I'd be offering 50,000 tokens. because you can always get more soakers. What you want to do is build those lists like Tom Haley was doing, or Dave Merrington, or me, or Frank Sousa. You want to get a nice big list, and we're not really demonstrating so cool today. The reason, though, that you want a nice big list is when you go to email, and you have to be a bronze member or higher. And I highly suggest you go for silver, gold, or founder. But you can go and email those trackers every 3 days. So you just go to send your message. Now remember, I have been building a list, and it hasn't been through just promotions. It has been through offering these tokens. So anyone who is bringing people into so-called, we have 100,000 members, and many of them are active and promote. I have the advantage because I am offering tokens to pick them up on my list and send them, like, just we'll use the same message that I used on so-called submit. But when I email as opposed to post, this is a much stronger message, meaning more people are going to see your email than they are to necessarily log in and see your post. Building a list at SoCal, which is basically done for you. It's basically, the work is done for you. All you need to do is go claim those tokens, build your token account up, and make an offer. And you are going to find your list is going to grow very fast. So, and then you have the opportunity, if you're silver, gold, or founder, to email all your followers. In my case, that's going to be over 18,000. You just go click to send this direct message. Now, unlike So Cool Submit, this is ending up in people's contact emails. That is really a powerful way to post. And it's your own list, and you get to mail to it. You're building it through using these tokens. This is about as automatic in list building as you're going to get. Now, again, when I just mailed to these 18,000 members, I was telling them about our other site, On Your List. What did I do? I want them on a list. So that's not the one I just sent. Let's go back to these. So this message says, this is an On Your List capture page. This message says, use this to market, and it leads them to On Your List. In other words, you've now seen me use 3 automatic or semi-automatic marketing tools, and not one of them has contained a URL that is a straight URL to one of my sites or a straight affiliate link. I am using a capture page. I want them on every list I can get them on. You must have lists. Somebody said to me in support this week, well, I guess it's really a circle in life on the net, because you need to have a list to make sales, and you need to have money to start to build the list, and I don't know what to do. And you know, it's true. You need to build a list. Well, we're giving you away 2 ways, both at So Cool and On Your List, at least to get you started. At least to get you started. So I want you to begin to think of making your marketing a little bit easier for you. Go into On Your List, and let's now wind up. Oh, I didn't realize it was so late. I'm not going to hold you for much longer, but let's just log into On Your List for a minute, because it all really starts here. I want you, On Your List is really an inexpensive way to build a list. I mean, for some of you who joined at the 47 level, you can build a capture page. Most of you came in at the unlimited level, which is really lets you build a very professional capture page. Every time you promote that, no matter where you're promoting it, if it's a decently made capture page and your copy on it is good, you are going to be able to go to my leads page and you are going to see leads accumulating in your various capture pages. What can you do with them? If you've attached an autoresponder, those leads are in your autoresponder list forever. If you don't use an autoresponder, go to the on your list mailer. You do need to, this is what I call a hybrid autoresponder. It's very simple to use. It's like a straight ordinary message, but you have a lot of flexibility. You can email all of your lists, but suppose you want to isolate your niches and you have various lists. I can mail to all my lists. I can mail to multiple lists, meaning I can pick 2 or 3 lists to mail to, or I can mail to a single list and just mail to one that I want to mail to. And you can customize your welcome letter. You can put banners on your validation email. This is one of the most interesting emailers online, but it's in the training area. You can watch that on another date. I want you to come away with 2 thoughts today. You can't automate all your marketing. You need to do either your own sales copy or hire somebody to do it for you. You need to do your own social posting, although you can reach a lot of them from So Cool, but you still have to make the post. So that is not automatic, or you have to hire somebody to do it for you. Usually you can grab videos off YouTube or create your own, but they're not going to materialize automatically. So remember at the beginning I said you can't automate everything. There are blog posting software. I'm not so hot on them. Article writing, you can farm out and you can put it in article submitters. So you can partially automate that. Support tasks you can farm out, but if you don't answer either your downlines or your clients and give them support, you're not going to be in business for long on the net, because people expect to have their questions answered, which is why I started this out. When you contact us in support, please give us a Gmail account. Phil or I or one of our support team are in our support desk between 4 and 6 times a day. If you don't get an answer from us, it's because we couldn't reach you. Purely, end of story. We answer our support questions. Our clients are really important to us. So make your clients important to us, to you too, and give them a way by using a Gmail address that you can help them. Okay, so last thing I'm going to say to you is I mentioned that some things you can't automate. So Phil has put together, and you'll see it. Let me see if I can put the follow along list up, because some of these are very good. I've used Fiverr, which is by the way, it is so inexpensive. You go to Fiverr and you can get all sorts of services for $5. And some of them really work well. So this is for if you don't have a big budget, I would suggest you go over to Fiverr and let me get it into the browser for you so I can put it up here. Not Fiverr, but what Phil put up. If you go over to Fiverr, you can find some really good services. And Phil put in here some other. Elance is more for like we covered all this, so let's go down. Elance is a lot. You can get programming done. You can get websites built. You can get software done. This is outsourcing. So really for things that you don't want to do yourself but aren't 100% automated, here are some ways that you can get things done for you. And then you free up your time to do other things. Think about your business plan, see what kind of budget you're going to have for your next month of advertising or whatever. So while you can automate a lot, you can't automate everything. We're giving you some ideas. There are certainly many more places that you can get services done for you. And so you can take a look at that. Now, I showed you how So-Called Submit works. This is interesting because what we did here, if you go into So-Cool, you're going to pay $247 for a silver membership. If you go into $297, I'm sorry, a year. If you go into Yakima, you're going to pay what amounts to a similar membership at Yakima called our business membership, and you're going to pay $297. We put together, because you can email, right, not just post, but you can email both your Yakima and your So-Cool members. And we put together a very low membership. You get both of what amounts to silver memberships. One at So-Cool, one at Yakima. And we put in 500 targeted list members at So-Cool. We can't target at Yakima. So we put in 500 targeted list members at So-Cool and 500 different list members at Yakima. You can email those list members at So-Cool. And remember, they're auto building with these tokens. So even if we gave you 500 today, by tomorrow I guarantee you're going to have at least 505, 6, 7, and it keeps going up. And we're going to give you 500 list members at Yakima. And at Yakima, you can email once a week. But that's a lot of emailing, guys, because you can do it 3 times a week at So-Cool and once a week. I think it's once every 5 days. Sorry, not once a week. At Yakima, you can email once every 5 days. So you can send the same message. You can send a different message. A lot of flexibility with this. I call it a twofer. So that's an interesting membership for those of you who are really interested in list building. And the second one, and then I'll let you go, is the So-Called Submit, where we only really went over the So-Called Submitter, but these are very powerful submitters. If you buy the lifetime membership, which is $597, right, in the members area, Phil, you get access to all of these, plus you get 10 million tokens. And we didn't go over one-click marketing machine. This is a fully automatic. You set it up and you forget it, and it submits to 11 different kinds of submitters, and you get 2 campaigns with your purchase of the So-Called Lifetime Submitter. Nice bonus. Look at it when you get a chance. Now, you're all welcome to ask questions, but Phil, you look like there's some questions you want me that will apply to everybody that you want me to ask or answer? No? Okay. Well, wait, if you point it out to me, nobody can hear it.
Hi, folks. The only thing I would point out on the So-Called Submit special that we've got down the bottom is that, like Jane was saying with CoolPing, where you can offer to advertise for people who sign up under you in other programs, you can also do the same with CoolPing. With the So-Called Submit, rather. You can offer to give them really good promotional services by signing up for an account in this and putting their URL in your So-Called Submit account. You know, I mean, it's a really powerful way to market, and you can often get a lot of good conversions doing that.
And Phil gave me one other idea. You will often see when I'm promoting a site, whether it's my own or somebody else's site, that I offer tokens with that sign up. So I could be promoting My Fun Life, for example, and be offering 500,000 tokens. That's a small upgrade of My Fun Life. So I might offer 500,000 tokens because it's a $21 upgrade, just for upgrading. Well, people who know So Cool, even if they don't know So Cool, by the way, if you tell people that they're going to get a half a million of anything, it really perks their interest, by the way. People want to know, well, I don't know a soaking from a, worm, but I sure want to find out why I'm getting half a million of them. So you can also, by the way, give away soakings. And it's very easy to do that right through your account. You can giveaway. There's something, if you go to that Soakins area, you can actually give Soakins to another user of SoCool. So let's say, Florence, I'm going to go back to you again. Let's say you're advertising Vima, and I don't know what the price point is, but I'm just going to say for an argument's sake, maybe it's $100 to join it. So that's worthy to me. If I was promoting $100 item, I would offer at least probably 2 million Soakins, which is worth over $2,400 if you went to buy them. But if I was promoting a $100 item, I'd offer 3 million Soakins. Well, all you need to do is give your people, get them to join So Cool under you. Then you get them to give you your username. If they upgrade in Vima, you're going to give them 3 million Soakins. How do you do that? You just log in, go to that money thing that where it says Soakins, and then go to Soakins, and it says give Soakins. All you do is type in their username and enter 3 million Soakins, and you lose 3 million Soakins, and they get 3 million Soakins, but you've got an upgrade in Vima, or you've got an upgrade in My Fun Life, or whatever site you're promoting. Use your Soakins. They're there for you. You can give them away and use them as an incentive for people to do what you would like them to do, whatever upgrade that is that you would like them to do. I mean, we do that, and people love Soakins. They love them because they auto build a list for them. So you are in the same position to offer Soakins as Phil calls an incentive. I call it a bribe, but it's certainly something that you can use. So I think we're going to let you guys go. I thank you so much for spending some of your Saturday with us. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions on this, you can email Phil, and I'm going to put your email in there, Phil, at jpeorders at noticegmail.com, guys. You can email Phil at jporders@gmail.com. And I think I'm going to let him go to, because he's been working hard over there on the question on the chat box. So thank you all again. And Phil will stay as long as you want to ask him